When you break business down, there's only three ways to actually grow your business. You can charge more, you can get more clients, and you can keep your clients for longer. Today, we're going to be focusing on those first two, right? Charging more and signing more clients. Sometimes, for a lot of people, this can feel like a battle. You know, if you charge more, you are going to sign less clients. And if you charge less, you'll sign more clients. So it feels like a double-edged sword, and you kind of have to choose one or the other. In this video, I'm going to show you how to actually charge more and sign more clients in your coaching business. Because a lot of the time, we can do both. It's just a way of understanding people's buying behaviors and even just understanding like mathematics and numbers that holds us back from this. So this insight of how people are actually holding themselves back from being able to do this, how coaches are holding themselves back from being able to charge more and sign more at the same time. This insight came to me yesterday. So yesterday I had a group of clients come down and meet me here in Manchester. We locked in for 5.5 hours in a little room, and we worked on their businesses. We broke things down, and I love these sessions. I love these days. One of the really cool things that I get out of these, among many, many other things, is the ability to really see what's holding people back that I wouldn't have seen otherwise, or what is actually going on internally or mentally that's holding people back that I wouldn't have seen otherwise. And I noticed that as I was talking to one of my clients, I was telling them to basically raise their prices. I was saying, you need to raise your prices. You can be charging way more for that. And I don't like how little some of the tiers are that you are charging right now, and you're going to make more money. And she was saying to me that I can't raise my prices because the people that I work with don't have enough money, because when I speak to people, they, very few actually ever, sign up. This is what she was saying, right? So let's say that she speaks to, these statistics aren't correct, but let's say that she speaks to 100 people. And I'm not saying that she gets them on sales calls or anything, or actually has like a full-on sales conversation with them. But, people in the Instagram DMs and everything else, she might speak to like 100 people. And out of those 100 people, many don't go ahead and they say it's because of price, or they don't even get to a sales conversation because of price or whatever else. And the ones that do get on a sales call or get into a sales conversation and then eventually say yes, let's say it's 20 out of 100. Now, these are completely made up numbers. Her close rate isn't 20%, right? But let's just say, just for easy numbers, it was out of every 100 person that she spoke to, only 20 signed up. Cool. Makes sense, right? So because she has this experience where she has a lot of people saying to her that they can't afford the service. So then the 20 that do afford the service, let's say she's charging £200 a month. The 20 that do say yes to £200 a month, she thinks, because she's looking at this bit of data here, which is only 20 out of 100 signed up, she thinks that, wow, this price is really like just as high as I can really get this price, because only 20 out of 100 people are signing up and 80 people are saying that it's too much for them. I definitely can't go any higher. And you can see why people would think this, right? And if you're listening now, I'm hoping that you can kind of relate to this in some way. If you can't relate to that at all, this is probably not going to be a useful video. You can probably turn it off now. But if you can relate to this, right? Not all of the people that you speak to signing up, and then let's say it's like 1 in every 5, you're thinking, and everyone else is saying it's a price issue, it's a money issue, you're probably saying to yourself, well, I definitely can't put my prices any higher, right? So a couple of things here. Number one, understand that if anyone ever says that it's a price issue and they haven't got the money, it really is a value issue. The reality is they do not value it enough to actually buy it. It ends up being the same thing. And they're not even lying to you. They're not lying to you and saying I haven't got the money when it's actually not value. They think they haven't got the money. But if they really, really, really valued it enough, they would make changes to be able to afford it, right? They would do that because they've done that for other things in their life. So really and truly, when most people say that it's a money issue and they haven't got enough money. It's really just a value issue a lot of the time. Now, understand that doesn't mean it's your fault. It doesn't mean that it's a value issue and it's the offer that you're making to them and it's the value that you're actually proposing to them isn't good enough and you need to fix it up. Sometimes it's a value issue because they just don't want to take action right now. They don't value the result that you're going to help them get or whatever else, right? So 80 people said that it's too much. 20 people said that it is okay. So here's why the whiteboard's here. Let's just draw that out. So let's say that this is the 80 people that have said, can you see that? You can see it just about. Let's say that's the 80 people that have said, sorry, the 100 people that she's had a conversation with. And then I know that this is definitely not the percentage that's right, but let's say that smaller circle inside is the 20% that became clients and they did have the money. Everyone else said no because they didn't have the money. Right. She's now thinking, well, I can't charge any more than £200 because out of 100 people, only 20 people said yes. So of course, if it was any more, they wouldn't be able to actually charge that, right? And we're just looking at the data and we're thinking that. But here's the reality. There are laws of averages in everything in nature, including your business, right? There will always be laws of averages. So have you heard of Pareto's law, the 80-20 rule? That is going to be going on in everything, including the clients in your business and the leads that you are speaking to. So 80 have said no and 20 have said yes. What we don't realize is out of this new amount of people, there is another 80-20 rule, which means that out of this amount of people that have said yes, there is another 20% that would actually be paying $400 a month. Now, understand that these statistics and stuff is not always going to be correct, but this is the rule that works across the board. So these guys would be paying $400 a month. It just becomes another sample size. Does that make sense? So the 100% that was this and the 20% that said yes, when most people see that and they're like, there's such a small percentage saying yes to this price point that I can't put it up any higher, most people see that and never put their price up. What we need to understand is the same, in this new smaller sample size that said yes to the last price, there is going to be an amount of people in there, a handful of people that are willing to pay the next price up, right? And again, it happens again, right? So in this sample size of 100% of people that will have been willing to pay $400 a month, there is going to be a smaller sample size here, or a smaller amount of people in here, sorry, who would have been willing to pay £800 a month, right? And again, now of course, we're getting to a very small amount of people, right? And that's how this works. But even in there's going to be someone at some point with enough people running through this that would be paying $1,500 a month, right? So the same law that happened, or the same mathematics that played out when you were speaking to your entire audience and most people said no, or most people never even got to the call and it was because of price, and some said yes, the same plays out of all the people that said yes. And the same plays out again out of all the people that said yes again and again and again and again. Does that make sense? This is the biggest mindset shift that you can make here to allow you to believe that you can actually charge more inside your business, right? The maths work all the way through. There are going to be people there that will pay more. The sample size just gets smaller and the percentages get smaller. Does that make sense? It makes sense as well why most people would miss this, right? Because they're just looking at 100 people said 100 people, 80 said no, and 20 said yes. But there's a saying in boxing, right, which is like, you can only beat who's in front of you. So sometimes there'll be a boxer coming up, right, and people are saying, oh, shit, he's beaten no one, you know, as in he's probably undefeated, but they say, oh, he's barely beaten anyone because he's only beaten people that, you know, weren't that great boxers in the first place, or, you know, they were probably great boxers, but not compared to professional boxing standards. and maybe this up and coming fighter has had 15 fights, he's beaten them all, and he's beaten them all really well, you know, he's knocked them out and stuff. But people are saying, oh, nah, he's shit. He's barely beaten anyone. You know, who is he beating? Who's he really beating? They're just like cans, you know. But then people will say, well, you can only fight what's in front of you, you know. Like, he can only show his skill level to the level that he's actually been presented with. He's been knocking people out and he's won every single one. We don't really know where his level is. We don't really know where this boxer's level is until he gets challenged. So we don't know if he's good or not. We can't just say he's shit because he's not beaten anyone with a real big name, because he's beaten everyone. He can only fight who's in front of him, okay? Now this is related to this, promise me. I promise you, sorry. Now, the same happens here, right? Because most people, and if you're watching this and you're still watching this, you will probably thinking the same thing, right? Okay, well, 100 people, 80 said no, 20 said yes. That's not a high percentage, I can't go any higher. What we need to understand is they can only say yes to the price that is in front of them. Just like the boxer can only fight what is put in front of him, these people can only say yes to what is put in front of them. So again, it all starts to come together. 80 said yes and 80 said no and 20 said yes, but they only said yes to the price that you put in front of them. We don't know how many of those 20 would have said yes to a higher price point as well. So just because of the percentages of the yeses and the nos does not necessarily mean where your price point needs to be. Okay, so this is the mindset shift. This is the insight shift, I should say. It's not really mindset, it's an insight to understand the law of averages that continue to work all the way down, and we're throwing money away if we are only presenting them with that one price point, and we're getting in our own heads because of this insight. Or sorry, because of the lack of this insight and thinking, blah, 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 you know, the thing that I keep saying. So cool. We now know that as we go into the people that said yes, and then if we had put a higher price, there would have been people in there that said yes, and if we had a higher price, there would have been people in there that said yes, blah, 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 all the way down. We might be thinking, well, what can we really do with this? Because there's an obvious problem here, isn't there? If we said that this was £1,500 per month, right? If we charge that to everyone, let's be real with ourselves, we would have probably not got many sales. And yes, we might have got one high price paying client, but let's be honest, it's still probably not as much as we would have made from all of these people paying 200. Let's be real, you know? People that are telling you to sell higher ticket, they won't say that, but let's be real, it's probably the case, right? So that probably wouldn't have worked out too well. We'd have got a few more sales here at the £800 a month. Maybe that would have worked out a little bit better, who knows? Maybe the £400 is like the mid range, right? Where we get not as many clients here, but because of the price point and there's still the volume of clients, maybe we're getting a really nice amount of people. So what do people do when we start to understand this and we start to think about where do we price? What do we naturally do? We think, well, we do all of those mental mathematics that I just ran through there, and we think, well, let's kind of go in the middle. You know, let's just kind of go down the middle. And of course, that means we're going to go down the middle in price, and we're going to go down the middle in terms of service, because of course we can't do everything for our clients and be down the middle in price, because it's not going to work. We need to kind of go down the middle in price and down the middle in service. So what happens then? Everybody ends up down the middle in price and down the middle in service, right? So the competition now on how we're positioning ourselves is really, really, really high. And we're just kind of hoping that we're going to kind of get that right little sweet spot of price where where we're getting as maximum people and we're getting the maximum amount of money. There is a better way. There is a better way that allows us to not go straight down the middle like the rest of the market and be in a fight with everyone else, position ourselves in the exact same way. There is a way where we can get the best of both worlds. There is a way where we can sign up more people. Where is it? Sign up more people and charge more at the very same time. There is a way where we can still sign up all of these people while also signing up these people at this kind of price. Okay? And it's really easy, but most people are told not to do this, and it is a killer for their business. So let me show you. This is something that I call, let me reset the board. Let's go. So this is something that I call the multi-tier offer. okay? Or MTO for short, multi-tier offer. Ready? So what is the multi-tier offer? You might already have a bit of an idea, right? Most people have a single tier offer. What we was just speaking about there, going down the middle, blah, 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 single tier offer. The multi-tier offer is pretty simple. Most people have a single tier offer, right? Let's say that triangle is their offer and they're like, I want to go down the middle. Okay, cool. Let's just do $250 per month. They get a nice amount of people and they hope to sign them up. They hope to make as much as they possibly can in there, right? The multi-tier offer is slightly different. We have multiple tiers. We have a tier that is potentially even a little bit lower than some people might be paying for. So let's say $150 a month. So it puts us a little bit lower than the rest of the market or that middle ground, but it allows us to sign up people with volume. These people get least access, but they get a very, very lovely offer to be able to say yes to, right? So we can sign up a lot of people, and what's really cool is we can sign them up in the DMs. When we have this lower tier offer, we don't even need to actually do sales calls anymore. So we can actually sign up people way faster. We can take people off the market way faster, and then we can make them like us inside our world. And we can be making offers way more frequently. And then we have a higher tier, which might be, let's just say 400. And this can be more access. So now, right, we're able to start to utilize those law of averages that are going on in your business anyway and get the best of both worlds. We're able to sign up more people that are getting less access. Often, by the way, because we're getting so much more volume into our business, because a lot of coaches say, clients love it when they come into my program, but it's just so hard to sell them. Often, when we're getting way more volume through our business, not only are we getting way more people talking about us, way more results and everything else, we also get way more upsells. Because a lot of people that would have been presented with this £400 per month, they would have said no, not because they don't have the money, but because they do not value it at that point yet. And it might be because they don't trust you yet. So when they sign up in this easy yes offer, super easy to say yes to through the DMs, and they come into your world and they start to spend a bit more time with you, they see that you're the real deal and you're not going to scam them and you're pretty good at what you do. They start to trust you. They start to trust themselves that this could happen this time, whatever the result is you're going to help them with. And then boom, they upsell. They join a price point that you never would have guessed that you could have ever sold for. And trust me, it happens. And then right at the top, you can have your most access, right? Where's the S here? Most access. Now this can often be, £800 a month. This can be super, super high compared to your niche, whatever that might be. Obviously, these numbers are just random because it's all different compared to niche and whatever else. But this can be way higher than the rest of your market are doing. And this will often be the most intimate inside your intimate way of you being able to help someone get this result. A lot of the time it's going to be completely done for you. So you're actually going to be doing a lot of the work for them. A lot of the time as people go up here, not only are they getting more access, but you are compressing the time and energy that they need to expend to be able to get the result. A lot of the time you'll get someone join here, right? And they will see that this seems great, the system seems great, the way of you doing things seems great, I just don't have the time or the energy to actually be able to put into this to get the result. And they'll come straight up to here for more access so you can take that off their plate and you can help them do it, right? So this allows us to, every now and then, remember those circles, that tiny little circle right in the middle, to still make use of those people as well who want to go super close with you. And I promise you, these ones are the funnest as well. I'm going to be like in my experience, these ones are the fun ones where you can actually, get your hands dirty with a couple of clients and do some really, really, really great work together. See, traditionally, we have to choose one or the other, right? We have to choose, are we going to go low ticket and higher volume, or are we going to go kind of down the middle, or are we going to go super, super high ticket and all of it? This allows us to do all of it. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, but I've been told that I need to have one offer and one price point and one platform and one program and one everything, right? I've been told to do this. I've been told that anything else is too complicated. I've been told that anything else is going to overcomplicate things, and my audience are going to get confused and everything else. It's not true. This is as simple as it can get, whilst also being able to make you way more money because of the way that it's set up and impact way more people. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it is a single offer with multiple tiers. So when people say you don't want to have multiple offers, you don't want to have multiple price points, you don't want to have multiple programs, they're right to a point, right? They're right to a degree, because you don't want to have multiple offers. Because if you have multiple offers, you have two different things to actually market, and you have two different things to sell. You have two different avatars to speak to. You don't want multiple programs, because now you've got two different things to create for. You've got two different things to run, and two different ways of operating to actually run your business. But you can have two different price points or more. So what we do with the multi-tier offer, and this is very, very, very important, right, is it is a single offer with multiple tiers. Obviously, it's in the name, right? Single offer with multiple tiers. What does that mean? It means that an offer really is a promise. So what happens? A process. So how do you do it and how does it work? Like the process that everyone kind of goes through. And then traditionally a price point, right? Promise, process, price point creates an offer. So with a multi-tier offer, you make sure that you're sticking to the same promise. So all of these people are going to pretty much the same place, just different speeds a lot of the time and with different degrees of energy. Same promise, and then also same process. Almost forgot there. Same process. So generally, once we've said promise, here's where you're going, there's going to be like a 3-phase process to be able to take them from A to B, right? The process is going to stay the same as well. Again, as they go up these tiers, the process is just going to be less on them and often more on you, or you're going to help them implement that process way, way more. So what this allows us to do is sell a single offer on the front end. It doesn't look complicated at all. We can sell a single offer on the front end. We can market the same offer, market the same problem, market the same solution, and market to the same person the entire way through. And then when they come in, we sell them on one, whichever one you want. I like to sell them on the easiest to join one because I can then sell them in the DMs. Very, very easy, sometimes even automatically. I like to sell them on that one. And then as they come in, I like to make sure that they know about all of the other tiers and they can pretty much just find their way depending on themselves. Understand that this is very different to an upsell pathway where we're engineering things to be able to kind of constantly upsell them. That's not actually what this is. This is a multi-tier offer where someone can join and they can decide what is best for them, depending on who they are, how much money they've got, of course, that's going to be a big factor here as well, and how much access they want to you at that point, and then also how much energy and time they want to spend on this, because as I said, energy and time compression happens as they get up to the top ones. Often, this would also actually improve. Do you remember I said, it's all about to come full circle here. Do you remember that I said that there's 3 ways to grow your business? Sign more clients, charge higher, or keep them for longer. We've kind of just ticked the first 2, right? So your business is going to grow now. Well done. There's also a third one that this helps as well, right? This also helps you keep clients for longer because they can choose their own adventure here, pretty much. They can go up and down the tiers. It's up to you how you want to set that up, of course, but they can go up and down the tiers depending on how much access they need at that time. So I've got clients inside my program who would have joined here, and then they might think, well, actually, I want much more close attention with you and much more intimacy just so I can set up my own multi-tier offer. So then they might come up to the most access one for 1 to 2 months to create the offer, launch it, get a load of money and stuff like that. And then they might think, cool, I know the system for now. I don't want to leave the program, but I know the system for now, so I can do it on my own for a little bit. Maybe I need to jump up. And then they can jump back down to one of these tiers again and keep the thing going. So it works not only with the mathematics of all of our business and how that works, not only does it work with human behavior and it what I mean by that is whether they have enough money or not is not always correlated with how much money they've got in the bank account. Sometimes it's just where they are at the time and how much they actually trust you. So sometimes it can help to have this so they can come up. Not only does it help with that, but it also helps with the reality of the businesses that we run, which is sometimes our clients will need us more and sometimes our clients will need us less. If we only have the £800 a month one, they're going to come get what they need and leave. Whereas this one, they could potentially come into the £800 a month one, come get what they need, drop down to one of these ones, get to their kind of next level in whatever the result is that we're helping them build or get to, sorry, and then, you know, come back up again when they've got another problem to solve. So that's called the multi-tier offer. We started with a bit of a mindset shift or an insight shift to understand where a lot of people, myself included in the past as well, by the way, myself included, but where a lot of people go wrong in terms of the way that we think about pricing and the way that we can often think, oh, my niche can't charge, I can't charge my niche any more than this. I already know that because they can barely sign up to this. We kind of dispelled that myth. And then we showed with our new understanding of price and our new understanding of the laws of nature inside your business, how we can actually make as much use of that as possible. So if this was useful, I'd love a little like, a subscribe and a comment if that's okay with you. That would be lovely. If not, no worries at all. See you later.